The Galactic Council was a grand place. Aliens from many planets gathered in a large hall filled with strange lights and sounds. They were all there to discuss the human problem. In the center, a tall alien with shimmering skin stood up. He was the council leader, and he looked very important. "Humans are weak," he declared, his voice booming. "They are small and cannot possibly be a threat to us." The hall erupted with laughter. The aliens pointed at a holographic image of a human standing beside a towering alien. The human looked tiny, almost like a child compared to the giant figure of the alien. The council members laughed harder, their voices echoing through the hall. Among the crowd was a small human representative named Jack. He had been chosen to speak for Earth. As he stood up, he felt the eyes of the aliens on him, judging him for his size. Jack was nervous, but he had a message to deliver. He took a deep breath and stepped forward. "Excuse me," he shouted, trying to be heard over the laughter. The noise slowly faded, and the aliens turned to look at him. "You may think we are weak, but you do not know what we are capable of." The aliens exchanged amused glances. A large alien named Gorak, with scales that sparkled in the light, leaned back in his chair. "And what can you possibly do? Your planet is filled with small creatures. How can you threaten us?" Jack's heart raced. He remembered the countless hours of training and preparation back on Earth. "We are not just our size," he said firmly. "We are clever. We have technology that can surprise you. We have plans." Gorak snickered. "Plans? You think your little machines can compete with our ships?" He waved his hand, dismissing Jack's words. "You are wasting our time." Feeling the weight of their mockery, Jack's determination grew. He could not let them underestimate humanity. "We have a secret weapon," he said, his voice steady. "And you will see it soon." He paused, letting his words sink in. The council members looked at each other, unsure of how to respond. The laughter had faded, replaced by a tense silence. For a moment, Jack saw a flicker of concern in their eyes. Perhaps they were beginning to realize that humans were not as simple as they seemed. Just then, a buzzing sound filled the room. The council leader pressed a button on his console, and a holographic map of the galaxy appeared in front of everyone. "Look at your planet," he said, pointing at Earth. "It is a tiny speck in a vast universe. You cannot win against us." The aliens nodded, reassured by their own size and power. Jack clenched his fists. He felt anger boiling inside him. They were so focused on size and strength that they failed to see the bigger picture. Humans had always been underestimated, but that was about to change. "Let us have a challenge," Jack called out, hoping to capture their attention. "A test of skill and intelligence. If we lose, we will leave the galaxy forever. But if we win, you must recognize us as equals." The room was silent. The council members were surprised. They had never expected a challenge from a human. Gorak laughed again, but this time it was less confident. "What do you have in mind?" Jack smiled, feeling the momentum shift in his favor. "A demonstration of our technology. If you think we are weak, let us show you what we can do." The council leader raised an eyebrow. "Very well, human. You have my attention. But remember, if you fail, there will be consequences." Jack nodded, knowing the risk involved. But he was ready to fight for humanity's place in the galaxy. He looked at the aliens, determination burning in his eyes. "You will see," he promised. "We are not to be laughed at. We will prove ourselves." As he spoke those words, Jack felt a surge of hope. He knew the humans had something special to offer. It was only a matter of time before they would show the galaxy just how powerful they could be. The council may have mocked them today, but soon they would learn to fear the strength of humanity. Back on Earth, in a hidden command center, a team of humans was busy preparing for the challenge. The atmosphere was electric with excitement and determination. Bright screens lit up the room, showing data and blueprints of a new technology. At the center of it all stood Dr. Emily Carter, a brilliant scientist with a fierce spirit. Dr. Carter was known for her creativity and intelligence. She had devoted years to developing a teleportation system that could transport large objects across vast distances in an instant. "We may be smaller, but our minds are our greatest weapons," she often reminded her team. Now her dream was about to become a reality. The room was filled with engineers, scientists, and soldiers, all focused on the task at hand. They understood the importance of their mission. If they could show the Galactic Council the power of their technology, it would change everything. Emily moved from one workstation to another, checking on her team's progress. "Are we ready?" she asked, her voice filled with urgency. "Yes, Dr. Carter." replied Tom, one of her lead engineers. "We have completed the final tests. The teleportation device can transport our entire fleet in seconds." "Good! We need to make sure it works perfectly," Emily said, her eyes gleaming with determination. "The Council is not going to take us seriously until they see our power." The team worked late into the night, fueled by coffee and excitement. They ran simulations, double-checked every calculation, and made adjustments as needed. Every minute counted. They knew the aliens would be watching closely, and they couldn't afford to fail. Meanwhile, Emily thought about the mockery they faced at the Council. She remembered the laughter, the disbelief. It stung, but it also fueled her desire to succeed. "We will show them that humans are not to be underestimated," she whispered to herself. As dawn broke, the command center was alive with activity. The team gathered around a large monitor displaying the human fleet waiting at a nearby space dock. Ships of various sizes, all ready for action, lined up like soldiers awaiting orders. Emily addressed her team, her voice steady and inspiring. "Today we show the galaxy that we are a force to be reckoned with. Our size does not define us, our intelligence and courage do. Let's make history!" With the countdown underway, excitement rippled through the room. The engineers initiated the teleportation sequence, their fingers flying over the controls. Emily watched with bated breath. This was the moment they had worked so hard for. 3, 2, 1. "Engage!" Tom shouted, and he pressed the final button. Suddenly, a bright light enveloped the room. Energy surged through the device, and the hum of technology filled the air. The entire command center shook as the teleportation began. Everyone held their breath, eyes wide with anticipation. In a flash, the human fleet vanished from the space dock, transported across the galaxy to the Council's location. The team erupted in cheers, hugging and celebrating their success. Emily felt a wave of relief and joy wash over her. "We did it! Now let's get ready for the Council!" As they prepared to broadcast their success to the Galactic Council, Emily reflected on the journey. They had faced doubts and challenges, but their teamwork and determination had brought them to this moment. "This is just the beginning," she thought. With a flick of a switch, the monitor displayed the human fleet now hovering majestically above the Council's planet. Bright lights shimmered on the ships, and they looked powerful and ready. Emily felt a mix of pride and excitement. "Ladies and gentlemen of the Council, welcome to the new era of humanity," she said as she transmitted their message to the aliens. Back at the Galactic Council, aliens were still recovering from their earlier laughter when they saw the fleet appear above them. Confusion and fear replaced amusement as they realized what had just happened. Gorak, who had mocked humans just days before, stood speechless. The humans had kept their promise, and they were about to show the galaxy their true power. As the aliens looked up at the massive fleet, they began to understand that the time for mockery was over. Emily's heart raced as she watched the Council's reaction. They will see, she thought, that humans are not to be underestimated. The Galactic Council chamber was tense. Moments after the human fleet had teleported into orbit, the aliens gathered to discuss what they had just witnessed. Confusion filled the air as council members pointed at the screens displaying the massive human ships. Gorak, the council leader, looked furious. "What trickery is this? How did they manage to transport their entire fleet here in an instant?" His voice boomed, echoing against the walls of the chamber. An alien named Zila, with colorful feathers and sharp eyes, replied, "We underestimated them. We thought their size would prevent them from being a threat, but now they have surprised us." The council members murmured among themselves, some fearful, others still in disbelief. They had laughed at the humans, but now they were faced with a real challenge. The humans had shown up with power and determination, and it shook the foundation of their beliefs. Meanwhile, on the flagship of the human fleet, Dr. Emily Carter watched the alien council through the main screen. She could see the expressions of shock and worry on their faces. She felt a rush of adrenaline. This was their moment to shine, and she knew it. "Prepare to send our message," Emily ordered her team. They quickly began to transmit a signal to the Galactic Council. The screen flickered, and soon her face appeared in front of the aliens. "Council of the Galaxy," she said, her voice steady. "We are here to show you the true strength of humanity. We may be smaller, but we are not weak. Today you will learn to respect us." The council members exchanged nervous glances. Gorak stepped forward, his eyes narrowed. "What do you want, human? You cannot intimidate us with mere words." Emily smiled confidently. "We don't need to intimidate you. We want to demonstrate our technology and our skills." If you think we are weak, let us show you how wrong you are. Before the aliens could respond, Emily activated a display on her ship. The screen transformed into a vivid simulation of a battle scenario. This is a demonstration of our strategy and technology, she explained. We will show you how we can defend ourselves and even protect you if needed. As she spoke, the simulation showed humans working together in a series of coordinated movements. Ships flew in formations, dodging enemy fire and launching precise counterattacks. Emily pointed out the intricate tactics the humans used to outsmart their opponents, despite being outnumbered. Gorak watched closely, his curiosity piqued. The other council members were captivated, forgetting their previous arrogance. The simulation was impressive, showcasing the creativity and teamwork of humanity. "What if you fail?" Gorak asked, still skeptical but intrigued. "You are putting everything on the line." Emily nodded. "We understand the risk, but this is about more than just us. It is about establishing a new relationship between our species. We want to be allies, not enemies." The council members whispered among themselves. Some were still hesitant, but others were beginning to see the potential for cooperation. They had always viewed humans as a nuisance, but now they were seeing the spark of something greater. "Very well," Gorak said, his tone changing. "If you wish to show us your capabilities, we will observe. But be warned, failure will not be tolerated." "Understood," Emily replied, her heart pounding with excitement. "We will not let you down." With that, the humans prepared for the demonstration. They activated their ships, and the fleet began to move in formation. The council watched closely, their eyes wide with interest. Emily's team was ready, and they were determined to impress. As the human fleet maneuvered gracefully, the council members saw the precision and speed of their ships. The aliens had never witnessed such coordination. Humans were not only clever, but also skilled pilots. The demonstration was a success, and the aliens were left in awe. When the simulation ended, the chamber fell silent. The council was speechless, struggling to process what they had just seen. Finally, Gorak spoke again, this time with a hint of respect in his voice. "You have proven us wrong, humans. We underestimated your strength and ingenuity." Emily smiled, feeling a wave of relief. They had achieved the first step toward gaining respect. "We are ready to work together. Let's build a new future for all of us." As the council members nodded, a new understanding began to form. The humans had arrived as the underdogs, mocked for their size. But now they stood tall, ready to take their place among the stars. The big surprise was just the beginning of a new chapter in the galaxy. The Galactic Council chamber buzzed with a mixture of excitement and tension. After witnessing the human fleet's impressive demonstration, the council members were eager to test their newfound respect. But they still wondered if humans were truly capable of defending themselves against a real threat. Meanwhile, on the flagship of the human fleet, Dr. Emily Carter prepared her team for what lay ahead. "We need to prove ourselves," she said, determination shining in her eyes. "Today we face a simulated battle against an enemy force. This is our chance to show the galaxy what humans can do." The crew worked quickly, checking their systems and getting their ships ready. Emily looked out at the vastness of space, filled with countless stars. She knew they were in for a challenge, but she believed in her team. "Remember, we are not alone. We work together, and that is our greatest strength," she reminded them. As the human fleet gathered in formation, a holographic image of the enemy force appeared in front of Emily. It showed a large armada of alien ships looming ominously in the distance. The aliens were fierce and heavily armed, far larger than any human ship. But Emily was not afraid. They had a plan, and she was confident it would work. "Commence the battle simulation," she commanded. The human fleet surged forward, engines roaring. The ships flew in tight formations, their bright lights shining against the darkness of space. As they approached the enemy armada, Emily's heart raced. The moment of truth had arrived. Suddenly, the enemy ships opened fire, bright beams of energy shooting toward the human fleet. "Brace for impact!" Emily shouted, her voice steady despite the chaos. The humans quickly maneuvered, dodging the incoming blasts with impressive agility. "Formation Delta!" Tom, the lead engineer, called out. The fleet shifted positions, spreading out to avoid enemy fire. They moved like a well-rehearsed dance, each ship knowing its role. Emily watched with pride as her team executed their plan flawlessly. "Now, counterattack!" Emily shouted, her heart pounding. The human ships returned fire, launching a series of missiles and energy blasts toward the enemy. The explosions lit up the dark void of space, creating a dazzling display of colors. As the battle raged on, Emily's team worked together seamlessly. The humans communicated through quick radio signals, adjusting their tactics in real time. They were fighting not just as individuals, but as a united force. Each successful maneuver brought cheers from the crew, boosting their morale. But the enemy was not backing down. The alien ships regrouped and launched a massive offensive. A few human ships were hit, spinning out of control. "We need to cover them," Emily yelled, her eyes wide with urgency. The remaining ships moved in to provide support. Some ships formed a protective barrier around their damaged allies, while others continued to fire at the enemy. The tension was high, but the humans refused to give up. They remembered their training and relied on each other. In a crucial moment, Tom spotted a weak point in the enemy formation. "Emily, if we hit that ship over there, we can break their line," he shouted, pointing at a massive alien vessel. "Let's do it," Emily replied. "All ships, target that ship." The fleet focused their fire on the alien vessel. Beams of energy and missiles streaked through space, hitting their target with precision. The alien ship shuddered under the assault, and then, boom! It exploded in a brilliant flash, scattering debris across the battlefield. "Great job!" Emily cheered, her voice filled with excitement. "Now let's push forward!" With their enemy's line broken, the human fleet surged ahead, gaining momentum. They pressed their advantage, moving swiftly and decisively. One by one, the enemy ships fell, unable to withstand the combined strength and strategy of the humans. As the battle continued, the council members watched in awe. They could hardly believe what they were seeing. The humans were fighting with a passion and skill that they had never expected. They were no longer the underdogs. They were a force to be reckoned with. Finally, the last of the enemy ships was destroyed, and silence fell over the battlefield. The human fleet remained, victorious and proud. Emily's team erupted in cheers, celebrating their hard-fought triumph. "We did it! We won!" Tom shouted, his face beaming with joy. Emily smiled, feeling a wave of relief wash over her. They had proven themselves not just to the council but to the entire galaxy. Today, they were no longer mocked for their size. They were recognized as brave warriors, ready to defend their home and stand beside their new allies. As they returned to the Galactic Council, Emily knew that this victory would change everything. The humans had shown their strength and unity, and now the galaxy would see them in a new light. The epic battle was a turning point, a moment that would define humanity's place among the stars. The Galactic Council chamber was filled with a sense of awe and respect. After the epic battle, the council members had gathered to discuss the implications of the human fleet's stunning victory. Dr. Emily Carter stood at the front, her heart still racing from the excitement of the previous battle. "Today, we witnessed something extraordinary." Gorak, the council leader, began, his voice steady but filled with respect. "The humans have proven themselves not only as warriors but also as allies. They fought with courage and skill that we never expected." The council members nodded in agreement, their previous doubts slowly fading away. Emily felt a rush of pride. She had always believed in humanity's potential, and now the galaxy was starting to see it too. "Emily," Gorak continued, "what you have shown us is more than just military strength. You have demonstrated the power of unity and strategy. You have earned our respect." Emily stepped forward, grateful for the acknowledgement. "Thank you, Gorak. Our victory today was not just about fighting, it was about teamwork and determination. We are ready to work together for a brighter future." A hush fell over the chamber as the council considered her words. The atmosphere was heavy with possibility. Finally, Zila, the colorful alien with sharp eyes, spoke up. "What do you propose, humans? How can we move forward together?" Emily took a deep breath, knowing that this was a crucial moment. "We believe that by combining our technologies and strategies, we can create a powerful alliance. We can defend our planets together and face any threats that may come our way." Gorak leaned forward, intrigued. "What kind of alliance do you envision?" Emily smiled, her mind racing with ideas. "Imagine a united fleet where our ships work together seamlessly. We can share knowledge, technology, and resources. This way, we will not only protect ourselves, but also help other planets that may be in danger." The council members exchanged glances, their expressions shifting from skepticism to interest. They had seen the potential in the humans, and now the idea of collaboration was taking shape. "We can establish a joint training program, Tom," one of Emily's engineers suggested from the back of the room. "We can teach each other our tactics and technologies. The humans are great problem solvers, and we can learn from the Council's experience." Gorak nodded thoughtfully. "This could indeed strengthen our alliance, but we must also consider the risks. Some factions in the galaxy may not welcome this cooperation." Emily nodded, understanding the concern. "We are aware of the risks, but together we can stand strong against any threats. Our victory today showed that we are capable of great things when united. We should not let fear hold us back." The council members deliberated for a moment. Finally, Gorak spoke again, a hint of a smile on his face. "Very well, humans. We will accept your proposal for an alliance. We will begin working together to establish a new chapter for our galaxy." Cheers erupted in the chamber, a mix of excitement and relief. The humans had not only defended their honor, but had also paved the way for a brighter future. The air buzzed with the energy of new possibilities. As the celebrations continued, Emily felt a sense of hope swell within her. They had overcome the mockery and doubt, and now they were taking their first steps toward a united future. It was a new beginning, one filled with promise and partnership. Over the next few weeks, the human and alien teams worked together to integrate their technologies and strategies. They trained side by side, sharing their strengths and learning from one another. Emily found joy in the collaboration, and friendships began to form across species. The Galactic Council began to shift its focus, welcoming the human input in their discussions. Emily and her team became valuable members of the Council, helping to bridge the gap between the humans and the galaxy's other inhabitants. As the days turned into weeks, the joint fleet became a symbol of unity. The once mocked humans were now seen as equals, their creativity and determination making a significant impact. One day, as Emily looked out at the stars from the command center, she felt a sense of pride wash over her. The galaxy had changed, and humanity had found its place among the stars. The journey had been challenging, but they had come together, stronger than ever. With a smile, she turned to her team. "This is just the beginning. Together we will face any challenge the universe throws at us. We are no longer just humans. We are part of something greater." The future stretched out before them, bright and full of promise. Emily knew that with unity, courage, and friendship, they could accomplish anything. The stars awaited, and humanity was ready to shine.